I am both thankful and disturbed with how soft this generation is because it provides such a huge opportunity for people who are willing to work mildly hard. Not even that hard, because it's not like you have to do just kill yourself every single day to see massive results or some sort of success. You can really work just a normal day, like a 9 to 5, and you are still going to be so much further ahead than most people. Today, Kenny told me a story, one of the guys that I work for right now, uh, of an employee that he had doing a similar, quasi similar job as to what I'm doing. And I said, "Well, where is he?" He said, "Well, I fired him." I was like, "Why?" He said, "He was just lazy." He said, he'd come into work an hour late, he'd leave an hour early. When he was here, you would kind of just mope around and complain when something didn't work, that he didn't know what to do, and he would never figure anything out on his own. There was no creative thought, and he seemed like he was just brain dead all the time. And that's how a lot of people are. I just don't know how they survive, honestly. I am genuinely just confused as to how those people survive on this planet. If you don't put effort into anything you do, I mean, that for me sounds like the most miserable life. Putting effort into something is what gives you joy at the end. I remember I honestly have a very poor memory, and people that know me can date that very well. But there's one specific memory that I have when I was playing pee wee football as a kid. And my dad said, just always work hard. If you just always try really hard, the coaches will see that, and then they'll let you get in the game, maybe, even if you suck. And I remember that we were doing some sort of exercise, in the summer camp before you go into the football season. You're mainly just doing a lot of conditioning. And I remember it was me and the best player on the team. He was always, the star running back or whatever, definitely the best athlete. I was actually usually his fullback pretty much my entire career, but that was I don't even, I barely remember that. All I remember is we were both doing the same exercise, and he was a lot faster than me, a lot more athletic than me, but I would just try a lot harder than him pretty much every single time. And the coach really rewarded me for that. He rewarded the hard work and not being a more gifted athlete. And that's really what it's been in every single stage of my life. If you work hard towards something, people usually see that and they prefer that over someone who's just naturally good at something. And I've seen that over and over and over again. And when I work hard, I am more satisfied with myself. I feel better after I work hard. And when I half-ass something, I can't take pride in what I did. Whereas when you do really give it your all, you can take a ton of pride in that. When you do something very difficult, that's usually the things that I remember. I don't remember when things went super well, if I'm being honest. Whenever I had a long period of joy and things were going well, I usually don't remember that. I usually remember when something was very difficult and I overcame it, whether it was a physical feat. There's one time in my life when I remember a very hard physical feat. It was during the COVID lockdowns, and I was running nearly a half marathon every single day. Every single day, I would run at least 10 miles because I was, big into David Goggins when his first book came out. And I was listening to, I think, the first podcast he had with Joe Rogan. And I was like, I'm going to do this. And I was running 10 plus miles a day every single day. And then I stopped running for a long period of time. But I remembered that time distinctly because it was challenging. And then I remember after that period is when I had the longest voyage of hard work. When I couldn't even work out because I didn't have enough time in the day because I was so hyper focused on macroeconomics. I honestly was just hyper focused. That was literally the only thing that I could think about. And I was upset at nighttime when I had to go to bed because that meant those were 8 hours that I wouldn't be able to study. I genuinely, this was the hardest working period of my entire life thus far. I was working harder then than I am now. I get 100 times more done now, but when you first start out, you're not efficient. You are literally just trying to figure things out, and I was desperate. It was really the only time since then when I've been in a desperate situation because I was a senior in high school. I knew that I was not going to go to college, but I also knew that I was going to feel a mass amount of disappointment by people if I didn't go to college, but I wasn't doing something. Because whenever you go out, every single older person would ask you, "Hey, where are you going to school? What's your plans after college?" And I was embarrassed of myself because I said, "Well, I'm not going to school. I know that, but I don't exactly know what I'm going to do." And until I really crystallized what I was going to do and I dead set made my mind on it, I was embarrassed of myself. And I could tell that people looked down on me that I when I said I wasn't going to college. It was very clear. And so that's when I was desperately working. And that's a different kind of grind. I honestly wish I was in that period for longer because I think when you have a burning fire on your ass, that's what really kicks you. I mean, now I have so much I could fall back on. I'm working exceptionally hard, but not like like my life would be over if I didn't do a good job. I kind of put that amount of pressure on myself, but it's not the same as when it's true. Anyway, so I was studying literally 11, 12, 13, sometimes 14 hours a day, all day, every single day, getting minuscule at best progress every day. And I think it's because I didn't really know what the hell it was my first time ever studying in my life. I always thought, oh, all I should do is read stuff and write it down, which I guess helps. But looking back at it, I really started to make progress once I started to talk about it, talk about these concepts with other people. Anyway, besides the point, I you work hard and you feel good. Every single night I'd feel good. I distinctly remember I made a video that this is the happiest moment in my life, working, knowing I give it every single thing that I have every single day. And this is success. It is the process of working as hard as you can, achieving a goal that is so far out, it doesn't seem realistic. And I made that video. I distinctly remember it, almost verbatim, that I said the success is working towards the goal because that is where the joy comes. And then I started to achieve a lot of those goals, and I kind of got a little lazy. That's what happens. Even right now, I, I work very hard during the day, but then at nighttime right now, I'm feeling kind of lazy. Like I just want to sit back and do nothing. I think the reason for that is because every single goal that I have, I'm hitting almost instantly. Not necessarily from a monetary goal, but for my work and business goals, I'm pretty much hitting them instantly. Not in a monetary sense. I just mean in a progressive sense. The next big goal is really scaling my business, which is something that I'm scared of. And I know that the next fire that's going to be on my ass is when I really start to hire people. And when I do make enough money to, hire my mom. And hopefully she works less hours. But guess what? If that happens, I am now responsible for her livelihood. And everyone else that I hire, I am responsible for their livelihood. And I would take a great deal of pride and understanding the position that you are in. So I think that's the next time I'll really have a fire on my ass when I start to scale in. It's not just the people that are working for me, but also their families. They are then reliant upon their spouses or the person working for me's income coming in. And that is a quasi scary thought because what if I'm not that good and my business fails and they are out of a job? Well, they can just find another job, Josh. Yeah, but they are still dependent upon you. So that's, I think, the next really big goal that I have that I need to take much more seriously. I have not been taking a lot of steps towards that. I guess I am just slightly scared. Well, I'm definitely slightly scared but I'm ready. I, I the results that I show for my clients are exceptional. Now it's just taking on the right clients. I can say the days when I'm in the office and I'm working hard are the best times usually of my day. I am only really happy here in Arizona when I'm working. When I'm at my apartment, I hate it. If I'm not working, I'm really not enjoying anything right now.